What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. First of all, don't forget we're doing a giveaway, subscriber giveaway at 500 subscribers. I'm giving away a few different Pelican cases, so make sure you're subscribed. All right, I want to talk about transitioning from, I guess you could say, like a utilitarian EDC setup to a more business casual travel, perhaps one might say gray man style here. On the left is the Condor Bison bag system. It comes with a crossbody sling bag that will fit my 10-inch tablet, and it has a front pouch and a zipper that holds a lot of my EDC items. That's basically my EDC sling bag, you know, throughout the week. It doesn't have any molle, but it is all very clean, just black nylon, right? It's also, there's no tags, no identifying brands, nothing, you know, which is fine. Now, the backpack behind it, that's the molle bag. It has the full clamshell open. If you go back to the other videos where earlier in the week I showed you that the loadout for that bag and how I kind of roll around is my work truck, and the way my system works is, you know, the sling bag and the backpack are my system, because that's kind of how this product came when I purchased it. That's how I adapted it. And so now what you see on the right is sort of like an evolution of that, you know, that this channel was inspired by the murder of one of my best friends, if not one of the closest men I knew, who was murdered about a year ago, around this time in Los Angeles. And known him for many years out here. You might say, you know, we go back, but nevertheless, that backpack there is, you know, that's a Briggs and Riley backpack, and that he was the one who encouraged me to spend $300 on the backpack. So, and you've heard me rationalize it in other videos. Listen, take that for what you will. It's just having my car broken into and my luggage stolen, you know, like not more than a month after I had it, and basically they broke into my truck and stole my truck bag, you know. Now imagine if that happens to you, right? And you have to deal with insurance and whatnot. And this is not, I don't want to go too deep into that, but regardless, this backpack represents sort of a very, I guess you could say, like LA perspective, you know, spending $300 on a bag. But I did my research, and the Briggs and Riley brand is actually rated the highest, most durable, best, you know, customer satisfaction travel brand. You know, it's not Toomey. Toomey's a luxury sort of like brand. Briggs and Riley, although it is, you know, what you might say expensive, like basically that's a $300 backpack, and that crossbody sling was $200. But I got the crossbody sling used on that app where they sell used clothing or secondhand clothing. I forget, Poshmark, I think it is. So I scored on that because I knew I wanted that after seeing it in the store, and now it's discontinued. So if you can find, I did find a website. I'll see if I can link it. I don't have any affiliate or anything to that, but they seem to have these discontinued items still in stock on this one website. And the prices are slightly higher than the original manufacturer's suggested retail price. Obviously, I nerded out on this brand of bags because it was kind of important to me, you know, and I feel that's actually more of a gray man setup there. Especially in the city, because if you go into somewhere nice in the city, halfway decent, you know what I mean? Even though LA is so casual with its style, you might have $200 sneakers and $300 jeans, you know, whatever, and a $500 t-shirt, you know, and that's the kind of backpack and sling bag you might see on somebody, right, in Beverly Hills, or just other, like, you know, I guess you could say respectable parts of the town. You know, if you're traveling, because that's where I find, you know, it kind of feels understated and sophisticated in that way, is when I'm traveling and I have this luggage. So That I mentioned all that because of gray man theory and how much fashion actually plays important to that, and how different it is being in the city, like urban prepping. If you're, like you want to blend in, if you're going in some parts of urban areas, like classy, clean parts of town, or business casual parts of town, right? And I've really kind of discovered that I'm going for the archetype. The urban prepper archetype is a mixture of a digital nomad and a hustler, right? So, you are kind of a minimalist in the sense of whatever you're prepared to handle on a day-to-day basis, right? It fits into this bag or pair of bags here. It represents a system that, when you add the travel element, because I also say that the true measurement of freedom is mobility. So, at the moment's notice, this is why I also did the other EDC video in the morning show. And we're just bringing it back to basics here, the core fundamentals of the channel, because as I mentioned, my friend that was murdered, that he was really inspiration of that. And, these are just some thoughts that like kind of really bring it back to a lot of the stuff we, discussed. Just trying to I guess you could say, make it in the modern world here, right? So, yeah, I mean, imagine, okay, so what, he was the one that inspired the bag. It's about a 1-year anniversary, so, what else can I say here? Let's just, I guess, jump into them, right? So, you guys have seen this. This is the daily sling with the, what we'll do here first is I'll go through all this and then move it over there, and so you can see how it transitions and what I do and don't bring with me, okay? Because quite frankly, this is more of a work bag. This is like, it's the truck bag. It gets dirty. Like I'm most likely doing construction stuff, but this one, I don't leave the sling bag in the truck because it's got the tablet, and so I take that in with me. And then I also realize like your EDC is your get home bag, and in emergency, whatever you have on you is what you got on you. So you're going to be separated from your truck, your car. You can't grab your backpack. Do you have a sling bag? So I really kind of fell in love with the sling bag, even though I came into this concept serendipitously just by virtue of picking up this on the cheap, at some surplus store. So this power bank is definitely like one of the things that travels, right? And usually, like obviously, maybe we'll go sling to sling here. Now this pack has some stuff in it which I'll go into later, but let me just take this out and kind of show you what I like to bring with me. Right, and again, this one is I can get 2 full charges of an iPhone with this. Plus, it has the double cord, so it's got the old school iPhone cord, and then it's got like the USB-C or whatever built in. But it's also got a port for your own exterior cable, and then it plugs into the wall to charge. Costco pickup, highly recommend. Okay, the Axel earbuds. These are Bluetooth wireless. These should be in there. Yeah, there they are. Okay. Actually, most days I've got these in ears and I'm listening to a podcast or something. But lately, actually, the more I create and have to focus on work, the less I'm distracted by that stuff unless I'm in the car, I guess. These aren't gonna go with me. These are construction, right? I'm gonna leave these in here as a backup too. Those I got from, those I got from a firing range. This is like for a vehicle, connecting my car phone to a vehicle. This one I don't bring with me. This is, like I said, the lamp, right? That also has the charger port, okay? So it's kind of also like a battery, but it doesn't hold much. It's good for like an emergency quick thing, but I like to leave it for the lamp, all right? This is the Gerber tool. It's fly friendly. It has the removable blade. It came with a removable non-metallic blade that, it's basically just like a friction rub cut, but you can put a jigsaw blade in there. All right. So when I think of transitioning, I'm also transitioning with travel, TSA friendly. So this is TSA friendly, okay? So because now that blade is removed, for sure it's TSA friendly. So, the chapstick, what the heck, right? The notebook for sure. I'm gonna leave the more construction-y stuff here, right? I've got the construction pen and stuff. Here's a ballpoint. I'll take that. This is the marker. Now, right now, if you're thinking, oh, you need marker for medical and stuff, let me just, let you know that I have already a bleeding control kit with the marker and already in that bag. So there's already one in there. Like I said, there's some stuff in there, but that medical stuff, I definitely agree with the sentiment to share medical. I think urban preparedness really, we should look at ourselves perhaps like anyone can handle a trauma, disaster. Like if everybody had medical EDC and some basic first aid training, right? We would be totally more prepared as a society, and especially an urban society where things happen so closely. So there's a lot of casualties that can happen all at once in a relatively small place, very quickly. But nevertheless, the marker for any kind of tourniquet marking, whatever is on bandage marking, is already in that kit. The headlamp, okay? The headlamp I think is gonna go. I think the headlamp's gotta go. I do have batteries. They probably should go with it. I don't do this often. I probably don't. But for the purposes of this video, and if I'm thinking also too, like if I'm truly packing for a trip right now, I'm just improvising. I'm gonna use some of this. Man, it's been dry. But if I was gonna hop on a plane and stuff, yeah, I think the headlamp for sure would come with me. This obviously this Milwaukee thing, if I just drop the razor blade and then re-up on a razor blade to where I get to, but I'm not gonna deal. I'm not. If I get somewhere, I'm probably gonna go where to buy a razor blade. They probably have these. I'll just buy another one of these. So the sport. I would say actually yes, that's gonna come too. Because travel, again, for travel. Oh, you know what I also forgot I have in here is these grooming items, a couple of nail clippers for sure, lighter, just in case. And this Allen wrench tool, because it's been with me forever, and I say yes. So that's going to go into that pouch. And if I was actually going to travel, because I also thought of doing this as like a day versus night EDC, urban EDC kind of vibe, but you wouldn't just, unless, yes, you get home and you want to throw, want to head to the coffee shop or something to work on something on your laptop, you know what I mean? That's definitely an urban move. And so, would I take the tablet? I'm like, on a daily basis, no, the tablet would probably stay home because I have the laptop in the backpack, as we'll get to. So, the laptop, I'm going to say stays, but if I was traveling, this laptop, this tablet does not fit in here, actually. I think if I remove the whole casing and stuff, it would. So then maybe I'd travel with it. Does it justify getting another tablet that would fit in here? I don't know. At this time I would say no. And let's say, for the sake of argument, you were just doing some kind of local coffee shop move, right? Or you have a workspace where you have a co-working space, a shared space. Again, this is urban lifestyle EDC stuff, right? Where you go and you get on your laptop and you plug in and you work and you do remote work, and that's how you make money. Because again, if you're a digital nomad, that's the archetype of an urban prepper. Now, I've had to also have a construction like blue collar tie to it, and I think that's important as well. But I'm not making content only for that. I'm making there's blue collar and white collar. There's digital nomads already in the city. I'm mostly just targeting the 80% of the population that lives in the city. The suburbs is used to this kind of like on the grid lifestyle. I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to say the foregoing the tablet, but if I was flying, I would take the tablet in a second carry-on bag, which is not here. Okay, but that's the sling. So let me put everything back in there and show you guys the sling here on the Briggs and Riley side. Now this is a cool thing. Like I said, it's been discontinued, but the other thing this represents, right, is ear pro and eye pro, and I didn't take the lenses from here because I actually have ear pro and eye pro in here already in the front. Okay, I have this Glock shooter's kit I got real cheap, so I said why not. I do like a Glock. It's actually coming around on me, especially after shooting Smith & Wessons that I just got a little bit. I do like that. Oh, that M&P 40 metal Smith & Wesson. Ooh, it's legit. So that's in there. I also have this flashlight, right, and this, you know, folding knife. Now these both are from the M&P Performance Center Shield Plus I got, right, the special edition with the little case, and it came with this and this, and 2 magazines, I think. Or was it 3? Yes, 3. Obviously those all stayed in Arizona, the ones with a capacity of over 10, obviously. So that's always in here because this is, like, I like to use this, and this is also my range kit, and I'll do a separate video on that later. But I'm always also thinking, like, you have to think that way, like your EDC, your like your range kit is your battle box at the same time, right? So this EDC, I can easily put a pistol, lock this, right, safely transport it, unload it. TSA, right? TSA locks, boom, it's a locked container now. Or I can put it in a sub-container, lock that, and put that in the backpack still. But I digress. So a lot of this stuff, the tech stuff, I just put in the main pocket. Oh look, I found an ounce of silver. I forgot I had that in there. And I also had this flashlight. Like I said, this channel was whole inspired by my friend. The backpack was inspired by my friend. He was murdered a year ago. This is sort of an anniversary, I guess. But this was his pen, and it's one of the things I saved. I remember he was a music producer, and so he always had this in the studio so he could look behind, and like he was always organizing his cables. So this was his. It's sentimental. It stays in this bag because it slips in nice with this, kind of. You can see it's got this cut out here. I have some cologne samples in here too that were just, I just threw them in there because, hygiene is an important part about urban EDC. So like if you can kind of spritz, freshen up, have a nice scent when you're doing business casual things, traveling, traversing in the city, sitting next to somebody on an airplane for 6 hours, right? You smell nice, you leave a good impression. Your nails are trimmed, they might be dirty, but they're trimmed, You set a good impression, right? I also have these wet ones. Now, usually these are definitely in here. So I got to get more of these and add a pack here. These are the travel pack. I think it's a 10, 20 wipes, right? This is a CVS usually or a 7-Eleven type thing. I have another notebook in here too. This is more of a backup. I prefer these because they go in my pockets really well. So, that's kind of it on the sling bag side. I'm just going to start throwing stuff in here and moving on with, the show because like a lot of this stuff will fit in there. I could put maybe a couple more things in here, eye protection, maybe put this light, put the batteries in here as a backup, the grooming tools will be in I'm gonna put them in one of these little pouches here on the dividers, you know what I mean, just so they stay organized. Also put the tube of beeswax in there. Right, and that just to you want to be a little organized when you have all this stuff. That's the whole point of kind of going this route and being this OCD with everything, But it just helps. It just helps because the whole point is having all this stuff. So now we get to this next pocket. Yes, this has another pocket behind that. So this front pouch is great because it's also adjustable. I fit in, I think 3-liter water in here. When it's obviously had other stuff not in there, but this expands to a nice size, and so you could fit a container of water in there. Again, urban EDC, you stop at the bodega, whatever, the Circle K, maybe you get the bottle of water, maybe 2, maybe 3, whatever, 7-Eleven's got the deal. You can throw that in there. Now you got water right here, maybe you don't need as much stuff, but the sling bag, the crossbody sling, especially this one, it's just absolutely fantastic. And it's cool, slick, urban, but it's like reputable brand. It's not bougie, but it's like a smart, I don't know. I'm stoked on it. I know you guys are too, because you like this kind of stuff. Make sure you subscribe. We're giving away Pelican Cases at 500 subscribers, and then again at 1,000. Now these locks here, the zipper pulls do lock, right? You can put a TSA lock in there, and so this also becomes a micro pistol kit for a range day. So because it's got this additional back pocket where you could totally slip in, 1 pistol, maybe 2, right, with the holster, unloaded. Maybe you got your magazines up there separately, and you got your ammo up here. whatever. But I have used it that way, and this is great. And then finally, it's got this additional back pocket with the RFID protection. All the orange lined parts of these brand of bags are the RFID protection. I would have to test it out, but I mean, if you're traveling and this is the crossbody sling and it's on your chest, then you have this zipper access, most accessible to you. You've got perhaps your credit cards and your IDs and your cash most closely in front of you to your chest because of the way this is the back that sits on your chest, So it's accessible mostly only to you very safely, whereas somebody could try and just zip open the front, they could just come along and whatever. So that's your sling bag. Okay, so we're gonna keep it moving here, and next we move over to the backpack. Now, again, I'm thinking of, am I getting ready for a trip? Either I'm going across the city, or I'm flying across the country, right? That's sort of my switch over here. And so what I mentioned before is now I also have my laptop already in here. I have a MacBook. Okay, I could put the tablet in here. Maybe if I'm flying and I want to pack it in, could go right there too. Okay, I also happen to slide my insurance documents in here because, like I mentioned, no sooner did I start relocating to Santa Monica when the Palisades fire happened. So, very crazy time. Glad I had that in the mail. I was able to read it and understand what's going on. We can talk. That's another great topic for a video later. But I also have the power bank and the cable and a hard drive in there, because this is like my the digital nomad. Okay, he's got the laptop. It's a MacBook Pro. I can do some light video editing if I need to. I'm connected to the internet to run digital marketing campaigns or run AI things and etc. That's the urban EDC lifestyle kind of need here, right? So I mentioned I have the bleeding control kit. It's in this zipper pouch in the main big pocket here. It's got the pen right there with the marker. It's got all the instructions right there. So keep that right on top in the zipped mesh pocket here. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see that, right? And there's another one below it, and this is actually where I keep a layered item here. This is my coverage, original C's of prepping. It's a fold-up Columbia windbreaker. It's got a hood that tucks in. It's supposedly waterproof. $40 at Big Five. Plus, I had the coupon. I'm telling you guys, Big Five's great for this. When I get cold and I'm sitting inside because I've been inside working on the computer and the air conditioning is running, it gets cold in there. This is a quick, easy stash. I can throw it on. It looks good. It's very worn. I've definitely worn this on construction days too. So it might be worth, seeing if I can get a new one that's a little cleaner. But I don't really care because I'm not worried about that, right? Not now. But you might be because you're still killing it, whatever part of the city you're in. But nevertheless, the little tech windbreaker zip up with the stashed hoodie, the hood and the collar, waterproof, also works great in the city when it's not raining is what I'm trying to get at. To keep you warm when you go inside places and you're working in buildings, apartments, offices, maybe 8, 10, 12 hours, right? If you get chilly, you only have the t-shirt, whatever. The sun goes down, you're getting a lot of heat during the day, and then all of a sudden, boom, night falls, that AC kicks in. So an urban environment having that kind of foldable but somewhat just still stylish, basic style, right? Foldable windbreaker jacket in your EDC bag in your backpack is a must. That's a strong recommend. So what transitions from this daily truck driver bag, right? I don't take this heavy duty rain thing. This is just some extra construction shirts. Okay, I bought a new box of these because the air quality is so bad here, especially with the fires and smoke. So this was just a thing. I'm not going to take this whole thing, but maybe I'll pull one out and add it to there. One or two, maybe, probably two. The first aid. Okay? And bleeding control kit. I've already got one in there. I'm going to leave that one in this bag. And then the parcel mask. Yes. So I don't know about traveling internationally, but I have flown with this mask now for about 2 years in this bag, just like this. This is my urban EDC bag, and actually I strongly recommend, right? If you're really going to be prepared for some kind of disaster at any moment on a daily basis, having that kind of respirator on you, look, it was fire, right? forget a chemical, biological, nuclear thing. Just how about fire and smoke? That mask would definitely have helped you in the Palisades, and the smoke came upon you too fast, right? And then, now this is a very large first aid kit. I'm going to look into getting a very small travel boo-boo kit. So I'm going to add that to my list of things to maybe look for at CVS or Big Five, but I'm going to leave this one in this bag. So I just take the mask. I don't take anything else. Nope, I don't take anything else. So that's how it kind of transitions to this guy. Okay, so now this is a great bag because it's got other pockets up here. This is great for your sunglasses up here. I use this for magazines, empty magazines when I'm transporting, you know, using this as like a range bag. But that is like the slicked out version of my urban EDC. Like, you know, this is the more like slick everyday carry. You know, maybe you could say gray man. You know, just the digital nomad loadout. You know, maybe, and then also like it doubles as a pistol range setup, which I can do a separate video on. All right, guys. So stay tuned if you want to see that. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. Don't forget we're giving away some Pelican cases at 500 subscribers. We're giving away a few more once we hit 1,000. I'll see you on the next one.